Hey everyone, hello. Welcome to the first which is gonna be basically a long series of work in progress videos for the Monogram F-4J. That's gonna be the VX-4 or Vandy one, the experimental aircraft. This one here. Now I did mention before that I would be working on this like every now and then, off and on. So the reason why I'm saying it's gonna be a long series of videos is because, well, it's gonna take me a long time to work on this, but hopefully you guys will stay with me. My updates. I am getting uh, back into this one almost regularly, I guess. I started out just working here and there, but I'm getting the itch, as it be, as it were. And well, let me show you so far what I've worked on, and then we'll go from there. So as you can see right here, I basically got started on the weapons, fuel tanks, and just now I've been working on the body a little bit, or more than anything, the wings. But as you can see here, hopefully the light will show. I've already put the tanks together and sanded them, and it's the same thing with the missiles. Uh, AIM-9 and Sparrows, I believe. So let me see. They've been sanded down and all that. Panel lines removed and whatnot, or not panel lines, but mold lines. I mean, it's still looking kind of rough, but I think a little bit more sanding, especially on the airfoils there. You can see there's a misalignment from the molds, I guess. But they're pretty much done for the most part. I was thinking of just adding or replacing the fins with a piece of aluminum, but I don't know, man. I'm still debating, but we'll see when I get to that bridge if I want to cross it or not. But these are done. Same thing with these guys here. All I need for them is basically just, a little bit of sanding to get the primer paint to stick on there. And I was thinking of rescribing these, so I don't know if I want to do that. It's not such a big deal if I don't, because I did order some missile decals from Two Bobs. Found those on eBay, but then I forgot. Like, wait a minute, it's not just eBay. So I checked with Two Bobs, and they had them there for $10, free shipping to a PO address, military. For those that you don't know what that means, and so I ordered those. Awesome. Then they're like super detailed, so these missiles are gonna come out really awesome looking, even if I don't go the extra mile on these as far as rescribing and maybe replacing the fins on this ones, at least the front fins. And of course the fuel tanks, I will rescribe these because they need that extra detail on these. Otherwise they just look too plain. But those are done. I just glued these together this week at work. So now I just gotta, of course, sand them down, because you can see there the joint line, and the plastic is looking kind of rough too. But yeah, so I need to or sand these down, Same thing with this ECM pod. And maybe rescribe some panel lines there. Probably, maybe. Not sure yet. And that's what that needs to happen on those. And if I just put these to the side real quick, or actually, let me put them back in the box. I've been working on the wing section here, putting it, test fitting and all that, sanding down blemishes and, the little nubs from cutting them off the sprue. And so far, it's looking pretty good. You can see some of the sanding I did there to sand off some blemishes from, plastic rubbing against each other or from the molding process. But I do need to work on some areas here, like the wing here, from separating that from the sprue. You can see that nasty gash there, so I need to fill that in. And I'll probably use super glue on this one instead of putty, since it's on the edge there. Probably hold better. This one came out all right. This one just needed some sanding. And here I kind of wasn't sure, but I think that was one of the position lines. But the molding area there looks so bad that I just try to sand it. Oops, sorry, I'm out of the window view here. I try to sand it smooth, but I need to look at my references, and more than likely I'll probably just end up replacing the position light with a clear sprue. I think that will look much better. I just gotta look up how this looks like and try and recreate it with the clear plastic and cutting off the actual molded in position lights there. But now that I put the wings to the fuselage, I was checking for, of course, fit. And I gotta tell you guys, for this kit being an old kit from the early 80s, maybe late 70s, I'm not sure. I think this was what, 84, 86, something like that. The fit is pretty impressive. You can see you barely see a gap on the joints there from the wing to the fuselage. Sorry, my accent gets in the way there. But yeah, the fit on there is almost perfect. And as far as the wing joints, I mean, that's also good. You just I just don't have it tied on there with the tape. But oh, come on, focus. Oh man, what's up? Let me turn this light off. Let's see if that works better. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. Oh, come on. That's pretty good there. Nothing, a little bit of glue and maybe just a slight dash of putty won't fix on there. But overall, oh, come on. Again, this is just tape holding it together, so it's not super tight. But this is basically just a lip on the wing there from the two halves, so I gotta sand that off. But the fit is pretty good. Here again, it's not bad. It's really good. Just, oh man, the gap is not that bad. The problem with this is gonna be when I put putty in there. Sanding though, sanding is going to be the problem because of the race panel lines, and I'm really trying to stay away from having to rescribe a lot of those because, well, I mean, the aircraft doesn't look bad with them, but I'll have to see what I do when I get to that. More than likely I might have to, though. I don't know. At least the main aileron and flaps panel lines, I might have to rescribe those. What I'm worried about is these little areas here with rivets and whatnot, but I think I can get away with leaving those on there and just scribing the panel lines on there. Yeah, of course that gap there, that's needs some attention. I was thinking, I have to look it up though, but I think that's part of the flap that extends out. I'm not sure. I have to look that up. So I might not even need to fix that gap there from the two pieces joining together. But the important part here, I guess, would be the joint between the wings and the fuselage, which is, like I said, there's almost nothing to fix there. And if this would focus, there we go. I mean, the paint will probably take care of that right there. And if anything, I can always use Vallejo putty and then just wipe it off with a cotton swab and bam, done. So not bad at all. The joints here for the fuselage halves are pretty tight as well. But again, the problem here being sanding and getting that detail lost due to sanding. So, oh man, panel lining here is going to be tough to avoid sanding off. Because having a combination of raised panel lines here and rescribe, I don't know, that might look kind of dumb. But at least these I can probably rescribe. So that won't be too bad, because I did buy a new set of tri-tools from Hasegawa. The ones I have are like, they're done. They're really bad. I can still use them though, some of them, but I just went off and bought a new pair anyways. So this will help with some of the rescribing of contour lines, circles, and that kind of stuff. Like these right there. But again, the fit is pretty awesome. Oh yeah, before I forget, let me show you this over here. This seems to be the only problem that I have right now with fit. That gash right there, that gap is really bad. And if you can see, there's like a lip here between the fuselage and the bottom part of the wing. But if I squeeze this and then glue it, and it disappears, so I'm gonna have to find some good clippers like these, a bit bigger, and when I glue the bottom of the wing to the fuselage, I'll just squeeze this and join it, and that should take care of that problem because it's on both sides. This, it feels flush, so this, between this part here, hold on a second, my goodness, okay, I'll use this. So the mating between these two parts, it feels flush between these two or three, so filling that line right there should be pretty simple, straightforward, and there's no panel lines here that I have to worry about, so that's an easy fix right there, no trouble there. What I did notice here is that for the air brakes, here we go, that's a much better one. I want to display them open, of course, but the problem is that this actuator is molded in. So, with that said, I'm debating whether I want to have the air brakes open and remove this actuator from the wing and make a new one out of plastic piping or metal rods, whatever, pins, and then display this in the you know, having it attached to the actuator, brake actuator, whatever, in the open position. I might do that because the challenge is intriguing to me. I feel like I can do it. The problem is if this panel here is actually flush or if it's indented to make fit for the actuator. So again, I have to look at my reference material and find out how that goes. But right now, I'm looking at probably doing it because it shouldn't be too much of a big deal for me anyways. And I'm not saying that as bragging, like, oh, so you think you're that awesome. No, but sometimes you got to leave that comfort zone. And for me, I think I can do it. I mean, I got my drill bits and sanding tools and whatnot to get this out of there. Or maybe even just cut off this whole area here from the back of the wing and then just use plow plate to cover it back up. Do the little details here and then just make the actuator, which is probably the easiest way to handle this here. So we'll have to see. But other than that, again, the fit is pretty gnarly, man. Pretty good. And the only other thing here, I just have to sand this edge here because it's sticking out. It won't fit in there. So just a bit of sanding on the edge, and that'll make it flush. So for now, the fit of this kit is really impressive, I have to say. Not too bad at all. Oh, and another thing that I want to check out too, I think these are like inlet air inlets. Oh, come on, man. So what I was thinking, just to give that little extra detail, little brownie points for the aircraft, or if I were to, enter it in a contest, which I never will, but anyways, is cut this part of the fin off. Well, the fuselage halves are still, separated, and hollow that area out right there on each side. And then you just make this new little part of the fin from plow plate. And there you go. I have the opening for the air inlets there. So that seems like a pretty easy task. And yeah, one other area that I was thinking of maybe just going that extra mile on was this access hatch vent, whatever, and sand it from the inside to open up the little grill area, the vents, like I did with the Tomcat. So I don't know. I'm debating whether I just do that or just, do an oil wash and whatnot and call it a day. The only reason I'm debating on that is because then these will probably be, I would need to do. The problem with that is that these are the air intakes here. And these are a bit more complicated to do because it folds over to the edge here also. Because you can see that there. So I'll probably just leave those as is. And if I get around to it, sand it out from the back, thin it out and then just open these little grates here. I think I might do that. I don't know. But there you have it. That's where I'm at with this kit. If you guys wondered about these Monogram kits, if you wanted an F4 but you're like, that's too old, panel lines are raised, I'll just get me a more modern one. Just get one. If you don't have one, of course. If you do, then whenever you want to build it. But these aren't bad. just, find one cheap on eBay if you do your thing online, or if you got hobby shops close by and they got these kits cheap, get one. It's been a fun build so far. I mean, of course, yeah, it has its challenges because mostly it's being outdated, but it's still a fun kit to build. And even though it's raised panel lines, it's more accurate than the Italeri one. And even though I do have some from them, like I'll show you one. I did a review on it. That one right there, still a good kit, but lacks on detail. As a matter of fact, before I close this out, I did order me some decals for the Reconnaissance version. Bam! Check that out. I want to do this one here. Whenever I look on eBay, sometimes they have this one from testers, but yeah, they just want too much for it, and for the kit that it is, I just thought it was too much what they're asking for. It's like what, 30-40 bucks maybe plus shipping for a kit that's really not worth that price. I mean, it's not so much that it probably it's the old one, even for Italeri, that has raised panel lines, but the lack of detail in it is really not worth it. And then I found these decals, paid like what, $8 or something like that, plus shipping, and it's more decals. I figured, you know what, I'll just buy these, and the decals are probably better than the ones included in the kit. And I just use these on that kit that I have here, or just wait till I find a cheap one online. And, yep, and do the extra detailing myself. So anyways, back to the kit. So, oh yeah, and I also ordered a 1/72 scale decals for the Spirit of America too, because I have an old Fujimi kit. Is it Fujimi? No, Hasegawa. That I think will look much better with those two. But anyways, back to subject at hand. Again, I'm rambling now, so I'll make this quick. Next, I think I'll probably work on the actuators here, and of course fixing the discrepancies that are still left on the wings. So hopefully I'll have another update for you guys soon, and maybe even have this actually glued together and look at what else I can do to make it a little bit more accurate. I don't know if pieces go on here for the vents. Let me turn it around. But I can't remember if pieces go here. I think they do, but if not, or if they're sealed, I'm gonna open up the panels there, or the inlets also, just to give it a little more detail to it. All right, anyways, before I ramble even more, I'll call this one done, this update. And thanks for watching, of course. Thank you guys. Hopefully I'll have another update for you soon. Till then, see you later. Bye-bye.